3:57 in the morning, my phone went off like a fire alarm in the dead quiet. And right away, I knew something was off. The only calls you get at that hour are emergencies, wrong numbers, or bad news. You know what I mean? My wife rolled over, half asleep, mumbling, but I was already reaching for the phone. The screen said HOA security dispatch. And let me tell you, just seeing those words before sunrise is like swallowing a mouthful of ice water. We'd moved up here in the Nevada mountains specifically to avoid all that HOA crap, so I answered with more attitude than sense. The woman on the line sounded rehearsed, bored, like she was reading a script. "Mr. Albury, you're no longer permitted on the property. The board voted last night. You're trespassing." I sat up, blinking into the dark. "Lady, what the hell are you talking about?" She just repeated herself, slower, like I was too dumb to follow. "Sir, Timber Ridge community reclaimed the residence under the Emergency Transfer Act. Security is on the way." Line went dead. I just sat there, heart pounding, the dogs at the foot of the bed perking up. I wanted to brush it off as a scam, but the hairs on my neck were up. Stepped into boots, slipped out the side door with my 2 mutts shadowing me, and right then, saw headlights sitting still at the end of my long gravel driveway. Out there, a black SUV, engine rumbling, reflective vinyl across the hood. Timber Ridge HOA Patrol. Not a prank. On the hood, no kidding, was a file folder held down by a rock. Inside, a fat stack of official papers, stamped and signed, top sheet reading, "Notice of loss of ownership rights." At the bottom, bold print, "New owner, Timber Ridge HOA." I snapped photos of everything. SUV, plates, paperwork, then hustled back up the drive and launched my drone from the porch, letting it climb above the trees, camera rolling, capturing that SUV and the 2 figures inside, glowing on infrared. Old habits from crime scene days. You document everything before they can lie about it. Then I called the sheriff's dispatch, voice steady as I could make it. Explained that someone claiming to be HOA security was outside my gate with eviction papers at 4 in the morning. 20 minutes later, the county cruiser rolled up behind the SUV, lights flashing. The deputy looked uncomfortable as he approached, like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Mr. Albury, our system shows a notice of removal was filed at the recommendation of Timber Ridge HOA. Says the owner's been absent for over 30 days. I've been here every damn day," I said, probably louder than I meant to. "You want proof? I got cameras, delivery logs, dog food receipts, bread rising in the kitchen. What do you want?" He leaned in, voice low. "Off the record, I've seen this before. HOA claims a place is abandoned, tries to take it. It's ugly. You'll need to move fast." He handed back the file. "Don't sign anything." When the sun came up, I hadn't slept. The 2 patrol guys had finally driven off, but the message was clear. I needed proof, real, time-stamped, airtight. Spent the morning exporting security footage, me unloading lumber, my kid biking circles in the driveway, my wife setting out recycling. I pulled delivery logs, 41 packages in 30 days, every one signed for. Even the vet bill for my dog's busted paw. By mid-morning, my phone buzzed, unknown number. It was the deputy from last night, voice tight. "Your property's flagged as disputed occupancy in the county system. HOA filed a complaint saying your place was abandoned. Nobody contested, so it got recorded." My gut twisted. "So nobody checked?" "No one verified." "Nope," he said. "If you want to reverse it, you'll need to go down to the registrar's office today." I didn't waste a minute. 40 minutes later, I was standing under harsh fluorescent lights, breath held, while a tired clerk tapped away at a keyboard. "Yep, I see it," she said, frowning. "Abandoned residence. Timber Ridge HOA emergency transfer claim. Recorded change of ownership 2 weeks ago." My voice shot up. "This property was never part of Timber Ridge. I bought it outside of HOA reach." She shrugged. "Talk to zoning." 10 minutes later, I was in a cramped office, face-to-face with a zoning officer who looked like he hadn't cared about anything since 1994. Timber Ridge filed a boundary expansion, annexed 8 parcels. Used that to claim emergency transfer rights. It's creative, but you'll need proof this is a scam. He spun his screen. The mailing address on file was a P.O. box in a town I'd never heard of. That's when it hit me. This was no accident. Someone had redirected my official mail, filed fake papers, and redrawn lines to steal my land while I was living in it. Driving home, mind racing, I got a text from an unknown number. I know what they did. Happened to me too. Call me. By the time I made it home, stars were coming out. My wife was waiting, worry all over her face. I handed her printouts and flash drives. They filed papers. The county lists Timber Ridge as the owner. She didn't say anything, just started packing important documents in a lockbox. I called the number from the text. The man on the other end sounded tired. Name's Peter. Left for the VA hospital. Came back, my cabin was gone. Same trick. Be careful, they played dirty. That night, it stopped being just my fight. I started a folder, Timber Ridge Evidence, and began writing a formal petition for emergency injunction, halting any action on my property. My old crime scene habits kicked in. I knew how to write things so a judge couldn't ignore them. Next morning, 2 men in Timber Ridge jackets showed up, papers in hand. Mr. Albury, you're required to vacate the premises within 72 hours. I laughed, couldn't help it. Get off my property, I said, phone camera pointed right at them. You're trespassing. They muttered about escalation and left, but not before warning me they'd go legal. I went on offense. Called Laura, an old reporter friend, and told her everything. She sniffed out the fraud in less than an hour and promised to run it front page. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. That afternoon, I walked the perimeter, checking cameras, gates, the pines whispering like they knew something. I felt eyes on me. Neighbors, maybe HOA scouts. Hard to say. That evening, Deputy Raines texted, "Be advised, HOA filed a notice claiming you threatened their agents. Stay cool. Document everything." The next morning, Laura's article dropped. HOA reclaims mountain homes without consent. Legal loophole or coordinated land grab. My inbox exploded. Neighbors, ex-cops, strangers, all with similar stories. A woman named Lisa Tran sent a spreadsheet. 6 properties flagged as abandoned this year, for already resold. Her family lost their cottage the same way. Together with my daughter, who's way sharper with a laptop than I'll ever be, we dug into document metadata. Same template, same software, same digital fingerprints tying every fake claim back to Karen Westbrook, the HOA president. I looped in Laura and a new attorney, Leah, a pit bull in a gray suit. If we can prove this chain publicly, they're done, Leah said. That's when the firestorm hit. First, a cease and desist from Timber Ridge's lawyer, then an anonymous CPS tip. My daughter came home in tears. School had gotten a visit from social workers. Didn't matter. We had evidence, clean records, a whole community behind us. Leah filed the injunction, attaching every shred of evidence. Laura published a follow-up. Digital fingerprints tie HOA president to fraud scheme. More victims reached out. An elderly widow, a disabled veteran, a young couple overseas. Every single case, same pattern. We hired a digital forensics analyst. He pulled server logs from the HOA records archive. Karen's account, her IP address, all over those fake property claims. Our case grew. Timber Ridge played their boldest move, sent a real estate agent to assess the value for the HOA's new listing. I called the sheriff, showed him everything. They escorted her off my land. Now, other families joined the lawsuit. 5 plaintiffs, 14 exhibits, a motion for injunctive relief. The legal firepower felt real in my hands. Leah's team even brought in a handwriting analyst. Verdict? 8 signatures were direct digital cut and pastes, pixel artifacts and all. The zoning maps had holes. My property was registered as a non-HOA enclave since 1982. No legal basis for their claim. Laura's stories went viral. Reddit, property rights blogs, HOA watchdogs. By the end of the week, memes of Karen as a monopoly villain were everywhere. Then came the inside whistleblower, a former board member with printed emails. Use new mailing address for Albury. I've set up the redirect. Game over. Leah filed to add racketeering charges. The county court fast-tracked the case. Timber Ridge struck back. My wife's car keyed, mailbox smashed, even a coyote carcass at the end of the driveway. Someone wanted to scare us off. I doubled cameras, floodlights, bought a backup generator, and kept everything locked down. Then, Leah called, voice shaky for the first time. The DOJ is opening a RICO investigation. This just became a federal case. The story blew up. News vans, helicopters, interviews with CNN and podcasts. Through it all, I stayed focused on accountability. At the DA's office, we covered the walls with evidence, emails, drone footage, maps, financials. The smoking gun? Internal messages. Get the signatures. The old man won't fight it. Too isolated. But I wasn't alone. More victims surfaced every day. The trial came fast. Karen pled not guilty, but her allies flipped. The board's treasurer turned over burner phones, bank transfers, and the Shell LLC they used to launder stolen property. In court, the judge reviewed everything, my deeds, maps, bank records, then dropped her stamp like a hammer. This home was stolen under false pretenses. The court hereby restores full and exclusive title to your name. I almost cried. Right there in the hallway, my family at my side. Karen got 12 years in federal prison, no parole. Other board members followed. The judge ordered full restitution for everyone. My payout covered legal costs, and then some. I used it to build a guest house out back, away from the main cabin. Peaceful. Folks come from all over now for advice. How to fight a crooked HOA, how to keep their home safe. I always say, keep your paper trail tight, cameras rolling, and never underestimate a narcissist's ambition. We put up a new steel gate, solar battery backed, and on the plaque, private property, not subject to HOA. Try me. Some nights I sit on the porch, dogs at my feet, sun setting over the ridge, and I remember that call at 3:57 a.m. The arrogance of someone telling me I didn't belong in my own home. They picked the wrong man. Now the whole damn country knows. So, what do you think? Does justice look like prison, like restitution? Or is it something you never really get back after a fight like this? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me where the line is between authority and abuse, between community and control. I want to hear your stories, too. And if you made it this far, smash that like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who believes property rights still matter in America.